Factsverse presents. His life after the NBA is not what you'd expect. Before we get into our list, which do you prefer, college or pro basketball? Tell us in the comments below and give us a reason for your answer. Also, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. NBA players sign multi-million-dollar contracts when they're playing. When many players retire, they don't go far from the limelight either. Many continue working in the TV industry like Shaq and Charles Barkley. Other players invest their money to make sure it lasts a lifetime. Shandon Anderson gravitated toward his passion for cooking, and today he's a successful chef. There are some former players who stray far from what many former players do, though. When Scottie Pippen retired, he immediately wished he hadn't. He tried to get back into the game and win his 7th ring, but it did not go as planned. Finally, when he realized his career truly was over, he teamed up with his brother and bought a livestock farm in Arkansas. He does come out occasionally to make TV appearances. His life after the NBA is not what you'd expect from a pro basketball player. Shawn Kemp played in the NBA for 14 years. During his career, he was awarded the title of All-Star 6 times. He was also on the All-NBA second team 3 times. In 2003, he retired and he opened up a sports bar in Seattle called Oscar's Kitchen. He ran the bar for 12 years, but in 2015 he had to shut it down because he just couldn't afford the rent. Today, he is part owner of another Seattle bar called Amber's Kitchen. LaRue Martin was drafted to the NBA in 1972. He played in the league for 4 years. When he failed to perform, though, he was let go. Having lost his only source of income, he got an entry-level job with UPS. He worked his way up to Community Services Manager, which he's now been doing since 2005. Basketball isn't entirely out of his life, though. He serves on the board of directors for the National Basketball Retired Players Association. Mark joined the NBA in 1997, and he played for the Celtics in 2001. In 2009, he retired from basketball, and he invested his money into Auntie Anne's pretzel franchises. He bought 2 of them, and he is very successful with them. Dan Dickau was in the NBA for just 6 years. After being released from the league, he invested the money he made and opened the Barbers in Washington, which has been very successful. And he still loves basketball and will often appear on the Pac-12 Network and ESPN. Bryant Reeves played in the NBA for 6 years, but when he was injured, he had to retire. He invested the money he made into cattle and he bought a ranch to raise them. His 300-acre ranch is located in Oklahoma, and he is a real-life cowboy. Greg Oden began his NBA career in 2007. After only 23 games, he was forced out of the league because of chronic foot complications. He decided to go back to school, and he applied for a job at Ohio State as the manager of the men's basketball team. He also enrolled in school to help him with a career outside the basketball court. Adrian is a legend who has been inducted into the Hall of Fame. After 15 years in the league and scoring 23,000 points, he retired. In 2010, he retired as a coach. He found a job far from basketball and started working as a crossing guard, believe it or not. Obviously, he didn't do that for the money, but the job has excellent health benefits. Detlef Schrempf had a successful 16-year career with the NBA. When he retired, he put his international business degree to use and he landed a position as a business development officer with Coldstream Capital Management. He also had a role in the TV show Parks and Recreation. Vin Baker had an incredible 13-year career with the NBA. Sadly, alcohol got the best of him, and he lost his fortune while battling his addiction. Today, he is clean and sober, and he works as a minister at his father's church. He's also the manager at a local Starbucks. Tim Duncan retired from the NBA and started training in the MMA. He also owns an auto body shop called Blackjack Speed Shop, which he bought in 2013. He used his shop to organize the delivery of emergency supplies for the victims of Hurricane Henry in 2017. Brandon Roy was headed for the Hall of Fame when a severe knee injury knocked him out of the game for good. He tried broadcasting, but that didn't work out. Today, he is the head basketball coach for the boys team at Nathan High School. His team had an impressive record of 29 wins, 0 losses, and he was given the Basketball Coach of the Year award. Shandon Anderson played for the Miami Heat, and he won an NBA championship in 2006. When he retired, he started going to school to be a vegetarian chef. He was an intern at one of New York City's most famous restaurants, Candle 79. He opened his own place in Atlanta, but sadly it didn't stay open longer than a year. Charlie Ward started out playing football and won the Heisman Trophy while playing for Florida State. When he didn't make it into the NFL, he was drafted by the NBA. He played with the Knicks for 11 years and retired in 2005. After retiring, he turned down coaching jobs with colleges to work at a high school. He's now the head coach of the boys' team at Booker T. Washington High School in Pensacola, Florida. Karl Malone made a fortune playing basketball, which makes it really surprising that after he retired, he started working as a part-time truck driver. He hauled timber for the company he worked for, and he says that he just loves driving. Subscribe for more.